There's a story about a dying pastor, and as he was in his last days, he would slip in and out of consciousness. Now, during this time, he didn't have full control of his thoughts, and yet he was sharing strategies and visions to bring the gospel to society. Even to his death, his heart was consumed with passion to make God known. On this Resurrection Sunday, may we be consumed with a heart for God's mission. And that mission is to make followers of Jesus, to make disciples of all nations. So how are we to renew our hearts for God's mission? And what's more, for some of us, it may be a matter of gaining God's heart that we read today. First, consider the power of the resurrected Jesus. The very act of resurrecting shows the infinite power of Jesus Christ. Having a grasp of the resurrected Jesus leads to a faith. But what's more, Jesus had shown his power in the lives of his people. The disciples in this passage, they went up this mountain to meet the resurrected Lord. These disciples probably came with different hearts. Some were excited, while others may have felt forced to be going up this mountain. However you feel right now, there's probably a disciple who felt as you did. But as these disciples climbed up the mountain, I imagine they must have had a wonderful view of the surrounding area. But this was not just nice scenery. But as they saw the resurrected Jesus, they must have been reminded of all the things that Jesus did in his life and ministry. They must have looked out and seen the lake where he calmed the storm, where he walked on water, the villages where he healed numerous people. He may have taught many things on mountains such as this that they were at. And even still, some doubted, but others believed. How about you? Take a moment to stop and think about how Jesus has been present in your life. Take a look around your family members and friends who are sitting next to you. Think about what Jesus has done. And look around this church, because certainly Jesus has been working in this church, yet he has more planned. Against such a background as we read today, the resurrected Jesus commissions his disciples. Second, consider the plan that the resurrected Jesus gives to his followers. That plan is to make disciples of all nations. There is no greater, no better calling than to lead people to Jesus, a call to make disciples of all nations. The resurrected Jesus calls his people, his disciples, to do nothing short of helping to change the world. This call to make disciples is a call to follow Jesus ourselves. This plan is nothing short of a plan to build and establish and grow the church. And this plan is to be executed by going, baptizing, and teaching. It's to be executed formally in the church, and we need to be a part of this plan. And we are already a part of this plan. We are here today because of this plan that was given to disciples roughly 2,000 years ago. And that resurrected Jesus commissions us to continue on in that plan. It's certainly executed in the form of missions, but it's also executed informally throughout our everyday living. As we go through life, look to share Jesus, what he has done, and the things of Jesus. Live as followers of Jesus Christ. Live as followers of Jesus Christ because Jesus changes in a way that no political power can. Jesus changes in a way that no technological breakthrough can. And Jesus changes in a way that no act of terror can. There is no greater way to live than to live following Jesus and leading others to follow Jesus. But thirdly, consider the resurrected Jesus. He also gives an incredible promise to his people. That promise is his presence, that he will be with them always to the end of the age. For the believer, the Spirit of God is in you. God is with you. It's not easy to live as a Christian. It's not easy. It can be discouraging when we try to live with purpose. It can be discouraging and tough to deal with the trials and temptations of everyday life. But remember, Jesus is with you. He is with you always. And there is none like Jesus. Because no one can change lives in this world as Jesus can and does. As we live in the presence of Jesus, may we confidently live out his purpose, remembering his power.